In this video, we're going to go through internet and capital markets, what it means, what it is this a new kind of flash in the pan meta, what are the tokens, what are the platforms, who are the players, how do you get exposure, all the kind of good stuff that you need to get started or completely fade it. This is going to be definitely a polarizing thing, which I always quite like when something is kind of polarizing for better or for worse. I think it's worth paying attention to. So let's get into it. And if you do stick around at the end, we've got this really good dashboard that I think is kind of flying under the radar, which is giving an awful lot of alpha. So I'll share that at the end. And if you do enjoy this throughout, please give us a like and subscribe. I think it's the first or second slide in the Solana pitch deck a couple of years ago now, was supposed to be NASDAQ on the blockchain, right? Or blockchain at NASDAQ speed, one of the ways around. And could we say it's fulfilled that? The speed part, yes. And it's definitely starting to be the market leader with regards to users and basically all metrics that you'd like to see with regards to the competing blockchain. Let me just move that out the way. But the actual aspect of, has it actually started to gain ground on the NASDAQ? Like, what does that even mean? NASDAQ is an exchange for the US equity market, in essence. Definitely hasn't done that. You have started to see more traction towards treasuries, equities, commodities, like anything that you could get your hands on in traditional markets start to slowly come on chain for a load of different protocols, securitize, Converge. Ostium's got some good exposure, but what this is, in essence, the idea of internet capital markets is being able to provide businesses with a better access to capital formation, users by default, and basically anyone being able to get exposure to not just equities or early stage companies or startups, basically ideas, brands, bands, anything you can kind of think of that would have some form of, I suppose, pseudo equity or direct equity exposure, right? So this is the idea. So this has kind of been tried already in a sense, but now it's starting to really gain traction. And I'll show you what's actually been happening with some of these tokens, right? So the initial platform I think that is gaining the most traction is a platform called Believe, which was previously called Clout. I think it came out of the Alliance DAO camp. Well, I'm almost certain. So the kind of tag is believe in something, reply to any tweet with @launchcoin, name it and turn it into a coin. So this does kind of sound like what they've been trying to pull off on Base. And there are some really good platforms on Base, like Ohara, where you can basically type in text to app, and then it will also create you a coin off the back of it. I'm not necessarily in favor of trying to tokenize absolutely everything. I will just caveat this whole whatever this is by saying that. But what I do think is inevitable, and you shouldn't try and step in the way of inevitability, is that tokenization is definitely a better way to either acquire capital, leverage people's speculation and greed to better market or better expose your own product, company, idea. And I think that's what's going on here. And you're starting to see these early platforms and some of the tokens really start to kick on off the back of it. So will this be another flash in the pan? Will this have some sustainability? I think it is a little bit more tangible, because you're going to start seeing like real companies which are already on the market with some tokens already that have really good recurring revenues, that have real products. And that's always been the pushback, right? Crypto doesn't have any revenue. Crypto doesn't have any users. Crypto doesn't blah, 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 blah. But this is kind of came the other way around. So this might be founders and teams where they've got a product, they are kind of coasting along, they're probably happy with where it's going, but they're never going to go and get like huge seed or huge external investment. They may have came from a non-typical background, and by that I mean not a lot of VC funding is typically meritocratic. There are a lot of screening nice to haves that people will use, which is kind of like sad in and of itself. But and then again with crypto, I think it allows a level playing field with regards to all that kind of shit that happens. So yeah, let's go for it. So Believe is definitely the market leader here. So think back to like virtuals for the AI sector, or AI16Z from the AI sector, like, and obviously generally pumped up funds probably going to start seeing these in their capital market tokens as well, and they're probably leaning into that. So this is just technically a way to launch, but this seems to be the platform where you've got tangible products actually launching with these tokens alongside them, right? So Believe actually has its own token, because their founder, this guy Ben Pasternak, he actually launched the first token on Clout. So let's have a quick look at that. Where is it? So that is actually one of the worst tickers ever. Launchcoin, which was previously called Pasternak, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know if there's been like a bit of a migration there, or they've just changed the DEX screener metadata. But yeah, this, as you can see, since what's the date? 13th of May. So if we tag that back, this is up 343% in 24 hours. Volume starting to seriously come in, down from hitting just tapped 100 mil around an hour and a half ago. So early days of new meta, people want to bet on front runner or the actual platform of choice, still at 73 million. I think that's a pretty good deal in my opinion. Volume coming in at 34 million. So anyone who's buying down here is sitting on a 11x currently, so fair play to those. But why is it actually picking up? Well, you look back to, and if anyone wants this watch list, it is shared in the mail deal, by the way. You probably could collect it together, but it's already done for you in Blockmates Discord, which you can find the links in the description below. So Dupe is a way for you to be able to find, great tagline, similar products for less. So let's say dad hats. So we want to find some dad hats. We want to get them branded once we've got them. So Dupe is going to go and source, like, find similar. So it gives you, like, if you like this, then we can go and find you that. So from Cotton On, find similar, blah, blah, blah. Then that is going to go and use its database to actually go and find you the best suppliers for that. So it does really, really well as a product in and of itself. I think it does fantastic, if I'm not mistaken. I think hundreds of thousands a month in revenue, if I'm not mistaken on that. So what did they do? They launched, Idiot bought some at 1 mil, thought it was going to be a flash in the pan, sold some at 4 mil, still got some more. I've actually just bought a load back now. So yeah, and this has been the market leader really, because it is the most tangible and well-known product. Sat currently 40 mil. So make of that what you will, kind of like a ratio between 75 and 40 mil between the kind of platform token and the other one. Creator Buddy is again another cool product which basically helps you to kind of grow on CT, helps you grow on X effectively. So it has a load of really cool, like, auto reply guy. You paste in what you actually want to type and it'll like restructure it to be a bit of a scroll stopper. It basically just formats it a lot better, and there's a lot of different tools that I've built within this product. And I think this is like $49 a month, if I'm not mistaken. AI algo analyzer, AI content composer, reply guy, brain dump, AI inspiration, history analyzer, blah, 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 blah. So a bit of a tool, but yeah, this does really, really well as well. I can't remember how much he said this is actually. So yeah, 300,000 a year. That's for his other. Yeah. So basically these creators and solopreneurs and small teams are using this as a way to get over that initial capital hurdle that they need. Will they need to sell tokens to make that happen? Probably, but aren't all teams doing that anyway? And I'd argue that this is a way more tangible than what you could get from a lot of the AI products. So this is understandable for like the average everyday person. Meme coins are like complete brain rot. AI is like on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. This is very, very mid curve, if I'm being completely honest. But that is what's happening. And then Buddy sat at 13.2 mil. Our good friend him, if anyone was around in the eye of the AI kind of initial hype, has basically just called this and called Dupe and just said they're basically the only ones that are interested to him currently. So there is a full list. There are more and more coming online. If we sort by volume, Buddy, Launchcoin, Dupe, obviously Buddy, Launchcoin being the platform, Dupe we just went through, Buddy which has been through, Fitcoin, and there's a few others. There is a meme token just called Internet Capital Markets. If you, I don't know if you want to buy that, go for it, but don't expect anything in return. Expect a lot of people to come out of the woodwork. This list to grow. How many have we got on this? There's 19 on this list currently. I can imagine that's going to increase drastically. And yeah, that's kind of what's happening. So in a nutshell, to kind of recap, businesses, ideas, brands, I dare say artists, musicians, everything and all above will look at this and see it as a way to actually, if they want to kind of kickstart on, basically look like crowdsourcing, but like more aggressive. And I think you're going to start to see this really, really start to tick up. I have kind of started to see the ideas of this come a couple of months back now, and I think that AppCoin thesis article that I pushed out was directionally correct. But and I think with AI driving basically developer cost and employee cost and overhead cost down to zero, I think you're going to start seeing a lot more of this. And as I say, I don't think there's a lot of, well, there's a big issue in the VC sector at the minute that a lot of the big fish are coming in and getting in on pre-seeds and seeds, and there's not a lot of exposure for like the average person to be able to buy into an idea or a premise or even just a brand or a community and kind of gain that upside. And I think that's what you're kind of seeing here. So it feels a little bit more fair for the average investor. The edge is going to erode drastically because people have kind of seen this play out. Same pig, different lipstick with AI and memes as well. So there's going to be a lot of grift. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff that comes online as well. So kind of pay attention to that. And I think with Solana as well, Robinhood have been touting them to bring some stocks on chain and stuff like that. So it all seems to be converging towards this idea of internet capital markets. Will Solana fulfill their vision of being NASDAQ on the blockchain? I don't know. I'm going to get exposed. I've got quite a bit of exposure to this already. I probably will double down on it. So for the tool that I promised at the beginning, again, blocmates Discord is going ham on all of this. So if anyone wants to be in a group of people who are throwing tickers around all day, every day, I'll leave the links in the description for that. And if you go to believe.screener.com, as you can see, this is a nice little dashboard. You might have just noticed that when I was checking this morning, it was on 300 viewers. So it's ticked up 2x in the past couple of hours. So it's still relatively early on this, I can imagine. And this is basically just a really, really easy, simple dashboard. Lifetime volume, 330 million. We'll come back to this video in a couple of weeks, see what that's at. Coins launched 2,629. Fees earned in 24 hours, which is crazy. Split 50-50 with creators and Believe, so I suppose the team. 1.63, so that's really, really good. If we played that out over long enough, like, you're not going to annualize stuff in, but that's probably close to 500 million. That's really, really good. Yeah, so it's looking good. You can sort by market cap, 30-minute chain, 24-hour volume. As I say, we do have that full deck screener list in blocmates Discord as well. You start to see the holders tick up. So there's a lot of alpha here, and then it also shows you newly minted tokens. Some of these are complete scams, so be very, very careful. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, we're going to do a lot more. I'll probably double down on this kind of content over the coming weeks. So if you do like it, please give us a like, subscribe, or even just turn notification on, and you will be greeted with this before everyone else gets it. Yeah, see you in Discord. Hope you like it. Bye.
Quick one, nothing here is financial advice. It's for entertainment and educational purposes only. Always do your own research or speak to a financial advisor before making any investment decisions.